In the arena tonight, a hope dealer whose smile radiates the room. She's also a wife, a mother, a 7-time author, a television host, and the founder of Behind the Confident Smile, a movement where women and girls are inspired to walk in love, live in hope, and be healed from past hurts. She's also a strategic, thoughtful entrepreneurial leader with extensive nonprofit program management, curriculum development, and training facilitation experience. Passionate about intentionally creating positive social change in underrepresented populations and communities of need. She is deeply committed to demonstrating sensitivity and compassion for all stakeholders within every organization she has served. Joining me in the arena right now, the host of CAN TV original program Behind the Confident Smile, the woman behind the Confident Smile, Bianca Cotton. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for what you have done with our viewers on the air these past few seasons. It resonates with them, but I tell you this, I watch it and it just, I luxuriate even the difficult conversations, but it's one of those shows that I have to watch on my big screen at home, so I pull up my CAN TV Plus app. But it's one of those shows for me. You and I have talked about this, and I'm so grateful that you're including us, letting us be a part of the Behind the Confident Smile brand is what we've got at this point. But we'll get talking. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
When and where were you born, my friend?
Southside Chicago, summertime, July 28th
Come
on
on,
Friday.
July 28th? July 31st, come on.
Yes.
When it's hot, hot.
My mother and father, I am the third and the last.
Come on. And tell me about that mother and father.
My mother and father.
Are they both still with us?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Wonderful. They are a huge part of my village, let me say that. You wouldn't see me without them. My mom, early childhood educator. My father, a serial entrepreneur, but I didn't know what entrepreneurship was then.
You make more sense to me already. Go on.
So I grew up in early
Seeing
childhood.
it in action before you could give it the name.
Yes, grew up volunteering, you know, before service was a thing, right? Helping other children who were around my age learn how to tie their shoes.
Come on. Come on.
And being with my dad before Uber was Uber. That's what he was doing.
Was Daddy the original jitney? We had jitneys in Detroit. Wasn't that the best? It was the original.
Yes.
And we can have a whole conversation about systems taking what we do in community.
All day.
All day.
And relationships.
My God, go on.
So I learned how to live in community from my parents, be in community, serve the elders in our church and in our community. So my parents would go and clean the elders in our church homes, and I would have to go with them and take them food. So that's
services in your DNA.
Oh, all day.
Come on.
That's where I come from.
What's your mom and dad name?
Clemestine.
Clemestine. Oh,
it's my mom.
Clemestine. Hello, Miss Clemestine. Respect.
Clemestine, yes. And my dad is Byron.
Come on. Those are beautiful, strong names, aren't they?
Yes.
Now let's talk about these siblings of which you are bringing up the last but not least position. Tell me about the two ahead of you.
Yes, I have two brothers.
Oh.
Yes. So I grew up feeling as though, very real, that I had 3 fathers.
Well, yeah.
So my brothers, protectors, what are you doing? And they're 10 and 12 years older than me. So that's...
Wait, let's take a step back. The oldest is how old?
Now he's in his 40s. Yeah, both of them are in their 40s.
So they're more kind of steps, and you, okay.
Yes.
Oh, you poor. So I guess I can ask this question, and I already sort of know the answer. What was the relationship growing up with the brothers, and how is it the same or different now as adults?
They're still protectors now, but growing up with the brothers, they taught me how to protect myself by teaching me how to wrestle and tumble and tussle with them. And partially throwing me on couches and things like that, right? You know, toughening me up.
Get you ready for the world.
But also showing me a different side, like bringing me into their world. I learned how to play video games from them. I love the Nintendo 64. And one of my my brothers bought me my first pair of Jordans because my parents was like, we don't believe in name brand stuff. Like, you're going to grow out of it anyway.
That's what we doing. Okay.
So that's what it was like growing up with my brothers. They taught me how to drive and just being present.
Gosh. And are both of your brothers local?
Yes.
So the family is all still connected?
Yes.
Oh, that's a blessing. Where did you go to high school?
I went to King College Prep.
Oh my gosh! I drive by your former school. Oh, King. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay.
When it became the College Prep.
Okay.
Because before, you know, it started at Forestville,
it's a
and then
Chicago
it was
thing. Go on. Go on.
and then it was King.
Yes.
And then
but it's important for us to know.
Right, the history.
The history and where you are in this.
Right, and my mother went to King when it was King, and her siblings, so I went to King College Prep, and both of my brothers went to King too.
Oh my God.
So it's a long-standing family history that I tried to break the tradition, I will tell you that, but it didn't work
out. So once you got through the family school, where did you go to college?
Illinois Wesleyan University in Bloomington, Illinois.
Okay. Were you a good student, high school and/or college?
And elementary, yes.
Okay. Let's take the journey. Okay.
Yes,
so elementary, yes.
Yes.
Middle school?
Yes.
High school?
Yes.
And then we get to college.
College was tough, but still, yes.
Okay. What made it tough?
The racism, the standard of education, the transition from high school to college was a big transition academically. So learning what it means to study. How do you study for classes where professors profess and you're no longer really being taught in a sense? And I learned the differences between being taught and being professed too.
What's the difference?
So for me is professor, they have a body of work and knowledge. But what I came to learn through studying is they aren't taught how to teach. Like how
my face is always keep preaching. I mean, keep talking.
So like how elementary and high school teachers, they do
hands-on.
Yeah, they learn how to teach and different learning styles. As a college professor, you don't necessarily have to learn about that. You have a body of work and you can come into a classroom and you profess and you give lectures and you provide information, and we are to learn it and test well or write an essay, and we have to take on the learning ourselves. So
that is profound.
Yes, I learned that while in undergrad.
Yeah, my goodness. How did that epiphany that I am now just getting at 55, how did that then shape how you moved through the rest of your college experience?
I have the language for it now, but then I created a plan for myself. I reached out to professors who were willing to help me learn how to learn and study, who will be willing to take that time to do so. I utilized the resources on campus to help me with writing. The Writing Center became my best friend. So, and I talk to the other students who were also struggling but in other areas so we could support each other. You're great at this, teach me your ways. I'm good at this, I'll share.
So you were doing collaboration?
All day.
Come on.
And I was a part of a lot of registered student organizations. So the African Student Association, the Black Student Union, the Student Senate, to name a few.
Come on. I've always, and I always repeat it because the beauty of it is never lost on me. By the time on this incredible platform that I have the privilege of hosting, by the time you get to question 3, everything you're going to say moving forward will make absolute sense. One of the things I love about these conversations, what I know about you working with you, we have worked together. Everything that you just, I'm like, oh, well, that all. Service, collaboration, learning how to learn, wanting to share that with others, it all makes sense. It's always so poof to watch, to witness it. So I want to go a little global, then we'll come in.
Okay.
Behind the confident smile is more than the television show. It's so much more. We'll talk about the show in a bit. Tell me, though, the vision for Behind the Confident Smile. When and how did that come into existence?
You ready?
Come on, let me.
I was on maternity leave.
How long ago?
Ooh, my daughter will be 7 soon. So 7 years ago, and I prayed what I would probably call a dangerous prayer, courageous prayer. To my surprise, I wasn't ready to return to work. Like I thought I would be. Like, I do this, I serve people.
Yes.
And I prayed a prayer for God to show me how I can quit my job and still bring in the income that I was bringing in from my 9 to 5. And the response I got was start blogging to encourage women. So Behind the Confident Smile was born from a prayer in what year was this? 2017. And I started blogging shortly thereafter and named the blog Behind the Confident Smile, where we're encouraging women to not hide behind their smiles anymore. So that's how it started. And it evolved over time, and the mission and vision became clear that I'm inspiring women and girls to walk in love, live in hope, and be healed from past hurts.
I just get a little chill. So you, the woman behind the Confident Smile, when you and I were having a conversation, a planning session, because I also have the privilege of working on your show as one of the producers. And we were planning, and then, as we often do, the doors of the church quietly shut behind us so we could sit. And you started talking to me, and in that moment, I went, oh, you have to sit with me and our viewers. And it's one thing for your show, but you, the woman behind the smile, and I alluded to that earlier. You had, and to say an experience, I think it was a series of experiences that I fully suspect that the viewers are going to have the same response, but I think it is going to underpin for us that unique glimmer we see behind your smile. It's got story and song underneath the music. You know what situations, what specific point in your life that was transformational. Walk us through that, wherever you want to begin.
Yeah. I'll start with what I was sharing with you about being an undergrad. I'm a freshman at a predominantly white institution.
Where racism has already welcomed you at the door.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm in my first semester. I am concerned at this point about maintaining my scholarships because a lot of them were merit-based and based on GPA. And at this time, I had a cousin who was very ill, and she later passed away my first semester. And during that time, I had family members who were in a really bad car accident within the same couple of days. And I come back home from my cousin's funeral, who was 6 months younger than me, and we grew up together, and our parents kept us together, so they raised us together. And after visiting my family in the hospital the same day as the funeral, I come back and I pass out in my dorm room. Unbeknownst to me, I don't really know how long I was passed out, but I had a class to get to. So that was my concern about getting to class, because I'm the first in my family to go to college. I'll be the first to graduate from college, and I have scholarships the weight, right? I have scholarships that I need to keep. And I'm at a predominantly white institution.
That is not terribly welcoming. I just want to keep on
so
that
I'm the only one in my class.
You're carrying all that.
And I'm carrying all of that. So I get up with a bump on my head and a scar on my arm, and I go to class. So with that being said, when I think about that lived experience and many others, there's so many of us that are carrying the weight of the world, and it's killing us.
My God, today. Whew, you have on this same journey, did I get 7 books right? 7?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I've written 3, and the third one I wrote with someone else, but you've written 7. So, but what do you want your expanding readership to take away from? Is there a through line between those books that you've written and the ones you've yet to write? What's the through line? What's the red line? What do you want readers, whether that's specifically Black women or folks expanding from that? For me, I'm a reader of your work. What do you want us to take away from that? The experience of reading the words you put on page for us.
To own your story. We all have a story. Every person that has been born and is currently coming into the world has a purpose. So that's what I want each reader to take away. I have a story. I am important. What I have to say matters. And me adding my voice to the tapestry of this life and this lived experience matters. And it can help someone else.
I think you are probably going to answer the question I'm about to ask you in a way that our viewers can already call, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have a mantra or a personal philosophy that guides how you, Bianca Cotton, move through the world? What's that mantra?
I don't know if I can say it in words, but it's a song. So Nas, I would consider.
I don't know the song, could you just a little bit for me?
So I used to rap it. So he says, I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, I'll be where I want to be. So that is what I live by.
It's yours for the taking.
That has gotten me through very challenging moments. It has been a rejoicing song for me. It's before I walk up on stages sometimes, I sing that to myself to remind myself of where I came from and that I stand on the shoulders of many.
My God, today. What is your relationship? And how is it similar or different to what it was in your 20s and early 30s? Your relationship to failure?
Ooh.
I know.
Good question. I would say in my early 20s, I didn't want to fail because of the weight
Absolutely.
I was sharing with you that I was carrying. Failure to me felt like failing everyone. But as I progressed through my 20s into my early 30s, I looked at failure as lessons learned and that I cannot move forward without the lesson.
Do you
So
mean
it's
that
no
to your
longer
core?
Oh yeah. I no longer see failure as a negative, but more so if I'm not stretching myself enough, am I really learning? Am I really growing?
Okay. Okay. Let me, who is Joshua? Who is this man?
My lovely husband and super supporter.
How'd you meet this man?
We actually were born and raised in the same church.
I can't with you. Go on.
But we got reconnected.
So you knew him?
Yeah, I more so knew his mom more than him.
Baby.
Like, and his dad, his mother was my choir director, Sunday school teacher at one point, and I knew of him and his brother. You know, when you're in church, you're like, oh, that's the Cotton Boys.
Right.
And like, it was that type of thing.
Right. And then how did you reconnect?
We reconnected through a cousin, actually. One of my cousins was hanging out with him and his brother, and he was like, oh, you should come with us. And I was just like, you're just going to invite me?
Is that what
I haven't seen him in a while. He's like, it'll be fine. I was like, and so
my God.
That's how we got reconnected in 2013.
And together, you and Joshua are mom and dad to 19-year-old Jalen.
Yes.
7-year-old Zanani.
Zanani.
Zanani. Zanani, I got it right during the practice. I did, Zanani, I promise you. And 4-year-old, Jabali.
Yes.
And those are all Swahili names.
No.
Oh.
The last one is a Swahili
Jabali.
name. Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means rock, which denotes strength.
How has being a mom to Jalen Zanani? Watch me do it. How has being a mom to Jalen Zanani and Jabali changed you? How does it sit?
The weight feels different. It, I think about legacy more, and think about how am I living my legacy now, and I don't have to wait until I pass in order to walk in legacy, so that they can know and understand and embody strength, confidence, and the unshakable knowing of who they are. So that's, motherhood has enhanced my sense of releasing fears and facing challenges head on.
It's for their sake as well.
Yeah.
My God, today. What is, and this is my final question, two-parter for this segment. What is your greatest hope and your greatest fear for your babies?
Greatest hope is that they won't be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character and the essence of their being. And the greatest fear is that they will be judged by the color of their skin, and that could have significant impacts on the way that they see the world and themselves.
I knew it. This is me, for our viewers, this is me on our calls going, yeah. Because, again, we've talked about this. There's no neutral right now. And if not for us, then for the next generation, we have got to find a way to do the work.
Definitely.
And to push through. And so every time I get to connect with a Bianca Cotton or another leader, I feel empowered to collaborate and do the work together, because it's going to take each of us and all of us. So I can't thank you enough, but you knew this. I can't thank you enough. I'm so thrilled. And again, I believe in divine order. I needed to have this conversation today. I suspect there are viewers at home who appreciated this as much as I did. You will stay with us, please, for one more segment, our final segment, 3 for the Road. But thank you so much. I'll thank you again, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Chicago. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
On the next Chicago Newsroom 2.0, we'll discuss the recent killings of CPS students and efforts to curb the ongoing epidemic of youth-involved violence in the city.
There has to be communication between schools and parents and the community.
Join the conversation Wednesday at 7 p.m. on CAN-TV, cable channel 19, or stream live on cantv.org or on the new CAN-TV Plus app. Experience the power of community television.
Bianca Cotton, I am full, but I'm greeting. So I want one more segment with you. We call that segment 3 for the Road. I'm not even going to bother giving you any cautions as I've given other guests, because I have a feeling that you are ready for 3 for the Road. So let's just begin, shall we?
Yes.
Question number 1. If you could have dinner with any person, living or deceased, who would you choose and why?
I would choose my paternal grandfather. He's deceased. He passed when I was about 14 or 15 years old. I would have so many questions for him now with the understanding that I have now about life, about trauma, about joy. I would just have so many questions about how he made it through. He was a World War II veteran and worked in the steel mills. So, I mean, with what I know now, I would love to talk to him.
Great first answer, thank you. Second question, do you have any regrets?
No. I would say, I say no, but with hesitation, because I feel like regret is a heavy word, but more so, parts of me wish I would have released fears sooner. Yeah.
2 for 2, my friend. 2 for 2. You're probably saying from my response, you were landing. Final question. One piece of advice present day Bianca would have given her 21-year-old self.
Build the things you see now, because they are more than needed now.
The doors of the church are open. There's no more to say. I am so hungry right now and ravenous for understanding and grace, and to be able to sit in conversation with you. And we would do it, we've done it on the phone, but there is something even more special about being able to do it on this platform and be joined by maybe, thousands of our friends. There is something that makes me grateful to be able to sit here and do it, but more than that, grateful to you for continuing to do it and doing it with such grace. You really are the person that, I would tell you all this at home, you really are the person that we see here. My friend, my sister, I cannot thank you enough for things big and small. Not only your partnership, your continuing partnership with CAN TV, but the love you show to these babies. And the rest of Chicago's babies and babies at heart. Thank you so much. If you have not seen Behind the Confident Smile, I promise you, go check it out on demand, catch up with the shows, watch the new shows. Monday night, you lead off our week now, Monday night at 7 o'clock here on CAN TV. Bianca Cotton, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chicago and beyond, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me leave you with a final thought for the road, courtesy of rapper, singer, and songwriter Lauryn Hill. Just because someone smiles all the time, it doesn't mean that their life is perfect. That smile is a symbol of hope and strength. Until next time, take good care of you and each other. Good night.
Thank you. I feel like I ate a good meal.